Well, welcome back. Hopefully this is the week I'm going to get that Royal Enfield out for a test run. In the meantime, I went ahead and started doing some little shop projects that I started doing a long time ago. This little vise, I've been complaining, I don't know, most of my adult life that I could not get a decent drill press vise anywhere. Everything you get is kind of sloppy. Like if you look down there in that pile, that's the one I usually use, but it doesn't hold well, and the movable jaw is quite loose and that. So this one here, that's one I started building, my God, it must be 35 years ago. And I had all these parts all made up for it, but I didn't have a base plate underneath of it. So I looked at that the other day. I thought, geez, I never did finish that project. So anyways, I've made a nice little base plate up out of aluminum. I would have preferred to have steel, but aluminum will work fine on that little vise for the sort of work I do in the old drill press. So anyways, I've tried it out and it does seem to grip well. So I might finally have a half decent drill press vise. Anyway, that's just a little side project because it's been raining out for the last couple of days, but I want to get back to that Royal Enfield. That's really what this video is all about. All right, as you can see, I'm not working on the Royal Enfield today. I got to tell you that we're into that time of year around here where it's nice and sunny, and I got other bikes that need attention. This one here took me away from the shop today. I took that out for about a 55 mile drive today. Anyway, it was nice all along the coast, nice and comfortable, not too warm, not too cold, just perfect. So, and that bike, I mean, you couldn't ask for that machine to run any better than it does. But I'll get back to the Royal Enfield probably tomorrow. I think we're supposed to get a little bit of rain, and I should be able to get that pretty much ready for the road. All right, I just had this thing out for its inaugural test ride, and it's working pretty darn good. Well, the clutch seems to be working just fine. The brakes are quite adequate. What else? The shift's nice. It's charging like it should. There's all kinds of power. The only problem that I seem to have with it is if you let it idle for like 10 seconds and then go to give it some gas, it wants to stall, right? You have to fiddle with the throttle to get it to take its gas, and once it takes it, it's all right. But I kind of think that I might have to raise the needles one notch, and that ought to take that little problem away. Anyway, so far so good. I think I can tell Charlie he's got a runner, but yeah, I'll get that back in there on the lift again. I'll pull the tops off those carburetors and have a look at the plugs too, see how they're burning. Anyway, yeah, so far so great. All right, I think in the last little clip here, I had just come back from a little test ride on this that was, I don't know, fairly successful. I mean, the only thing is that the carbs, you know, they idle perfectly, but when you go to give her a little gas, it doesn't want to seem to take the fuel. So I've done a little research on these and made sure I knew what main jet and cutaway are supposed to be in those carburetors. So it's time to get that gas tank off. I've been kept away from the shop for a couple of weeks here with family and company and that sort of thing, and it's been a great deal of fun. But it's time for me to get the tank off of this and see if I can find out why those carburetors aren't doing what they're supposed to do. Well, that was pretty, I guess, unsuccessful. Anyway, I had the carbs off. Let me get turned around here. Had the carbs off. Cleaned them up again. I did find a couple of little spots that were a little bit off. I did have the needles in the wrong position on the jet needles there. I had them on the lowest position instead of in the middle, so that's on me. But anyway, when I put it all back together and I started the bike up, it's almost exactly the same as it was. Not quite as bad, but you know, it did make a slight improvement. But anyways, I was checking these things out a few minutes ago after I had it running again, and the only real solution to this problem, the most cost-effective thing to do, is just replace those carburetors, because they're so worn out. They're just hanging up at idle, especially when the engine's running, and you can see the slides moving around as you're bringing the throttle up and down. And anyway, so I think it's time to just go ahead. I'll give Charlie a little message there, and I got to get this bike out of here because I've got other people waiting to get in here, and this is just holding me up. But anyway, got to get some new carburetors on there. We'll go from there. I'm not giving up yet. Right, well, I've got new carbs on order. They should be here in, well, 3-4 days, something like that. In the meantime, I plan on taking that primary cover off and replacing the primary drive chain. I'm not feeling really good about the condition that old one is in, but I do have a brand new one to put in there, so that would be a pretty good use of my time to change that out while I'm waiting. In the meantime, be nice to each other. You can like and subscribe if you want, and thanks for watching.